Good evening, everybody. What is happening? Hopefully, you all are having a wonderful day today. So, just wanted to say real quick before we get into this, thank you to all my most recent subscribers and the likes and the comments that people have given me. I appreciate it a great amount. And if you guys like the contents on here, I urge you to like the video and also subscribe to my channel. That would help me out a lot. If you don't like the videos, you have the right to downvote them or just turn it to something else. But anyway, that's really about it. I just wanted to say thank you to all my most recent subscribers. I know my channel is not that big, but hopefully it'll get there one day. I enjoy talking about fighting and these topics, so hopefully it's a little bit enjoyable for some of you guys as well. Anyways, so let's get into this. So I hear a bunch of people claim that Andre Ward has been hating on Anthony Joshua. Now, whenever you say something that people don't like, you're automatically a hater, or you're automatically this, you're automatically a that. I've recently said stuff about Deontay Wilder, and I've gotten you're a Deontay Wilder hater, overall this, and this. And, I recently had a person say that this channel was anti-black, which is not what this channel is about. This channel is not anti-black, it's not anti-Latino, anti-Caucasian. This is not a pro-racial channel. It is nothing about that, but I do address a certain amount of the LDBC new media channels. And the reason why that is because we all know where their motivations lie. I don't usually like to have race conversations or anything like that, but sometimes it is necessary to really know what their motivations are. And speaking of motivations, a lot of people thought that Andre Ward's motivations with what he said about Anthony Joshua was that he was hating on him. And personally, I don't believe he was hating on him. Some of the things that he said, I pretty much agree with. One of the things that he said, I believe, was that he did not like Anthony Joshua at that weight, that he should lose some of that muscle mass. And he looked slimmer than what he had in some of his previous fights. But Anthony Joshua possibly should maybe even lose a little bit more weight, because his stamina did possibly look in question in this fight. Not horrible, but it did look like he had to pace himself, and that maybe he was tired for a couple rounds. I'm not going to say a few rounds, but a couple rounds, potentially. It is what it is. And the other thing Andre Ward said is that he doesn't think this Anthony Joshua can beat Tyson Fury. I'm not sure if any version of Anthony Joshua could beat Tyson Fury, and that's not me saying that it can't happen. Anthony Joshua is a very talented fighter. And a long time ago, I predicted Anthony Joshua to become the best heavyweight in the world, which you could possibly say that he is right now. But when it comes down to it overall, do I believe he's going to beat a Tyson Fury? I believe Tyson Fury most likely is going to be the favorite, and rightfully so. Tyson Fury, I believe, has better boxing skills than Anthony Joshua. If Anthony fights the way against Tyson Fury the way that he did against Kubrat Pulev, I don't think that it's going to work extremely well for him. Anthony Joshua, I think, is going to have to push Tyson Fury forward. He's going to have to push him forward. He's overall going to have to go on the inside with him a little bit and push him back. And Tyson Fury can fight on the back foot as well, but he cannot try to outbox Tyson Fury the way that he did. And you have certain people, like when Floyd Mayweather Jr. was around, they said, well, you can't try to outbox Floyd Mayweather Jr. That's just preposterous. I didn't agree with that. And the reason why I didn't agree with that is because I think that in those fights, usually when you actually have a boxer, those are their toughest fights. But you have to have the ability to outbox them. And most fighters don't have the ability to outbox Floyd Mayweather Jr. A fight like Arasani Lara, I thought that fight would have been very challenging for a Floyd Mayweather, because that would have been a very defensive fight. It would have been a very accurate puncher that he would have been facing, and a bigger man. But when it comes down to the overall, that's another topic for another time. I don't know if Anthony Joshua, even though he does have good skills, and he does have a good skill set, and he obviously is more talented and skilled than Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua does have very great power, but I'm not sure if he has that same threatening power as Deontay Wilder. And I just don't know if he has the skill set to fight against Tyson Fury the way that he did against Kubrat Pulev. He's going to have to push him forward. And I do agree with Andre Ward. He is going to have to lose some muscle mass for that fight in order to gain some speed. He'll still have that very good power. When it comes down to it, we'll see what happens. I'm rooting for Anthony Joshua. I think Anthony gets a lot of disrespect, unfortunately, from a lot of fans out there, especially from the Deontay Wilder fan base, and now Tyson Fury fan base, but it is what it is. This reminds me actually a little bit of Amanda Nunes before she won against Chris Cyborg. Everyone hated Amanda Nunes until she beat Chris Cyborg, and then all of a sudden she had all these fans. If Anthony Joshua defeats Tyson Fury, he's all of a sudden going to have all these fans, and everyone's going to be like, oh, I was on your side the whole time. You know, it is what it is. But when it comes down to it, man, you know, we'll see what happens. But Anthony Joshua, you could tell in this fight, was still trying to figure out his identity as a reborn fighter. Because ever since that loss and ever since he won the rematch against Andrew Ruiz, he is still wondering where he is when it comes down to the overall and what type of fighter he is. And I think he looked good in the Kubrat Pulev fight. I gave him a very good performance review. But when it comes down to the overall, he is going to have to do something a little bit different against Tyson Fury. He is going to have to push him forward. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully that fight gets set up. And Anthony, to be quite honest with you, didn't seem too excited at the notion of a possible fight with Tyson Fury. So we'll see if that fight gets made. And I was one of the ones overall that said that he never avoided Deontay Wilder because I don't believe that he avoided Deontay Wilder. And to this day, I believe that. Wilder was the one, in my opinion, that was avoiding the Anthony Joshua fight. And he told on himself about a month ago with that. But anyway, but of course, if you ask everyone around here, I'm a Deontay Wilder hater and clearly biased. Anyways, and let me tell you something. This is not a biased channel. This is not a pro-racial channel. If you're here for pro-racial things or, you know, if you're here because you're a fanboy of a certain fighter, you're not going to like this channel very much. It is what it is. This is a logical and objective channel. So, it is what it is. Anyway, that's really about it for today. I just thought that I would talk about it. Thought it was interesting. We'll see what happens. I don't believe Andre Ward was hating over Anthony Joshua. I believe he was telling the truth, which is what he usually does. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's really about it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to y'all later, and we'll see where this goes.